Hello, greetings, salutations, welcome back. Today I'm going to be drawing. So I have an idea. Basically, I have my sketchbook and I'll be thumbnailing in there. But I also have this canvas, some thread, and some needles. So there's that thing on TikTok where you paint half of your canvas and then you use thread and then you use the contrast and color of the thread where it's been painted and then you create a little piece of art that way. I thought that sounded really cool, but I also thought I could do it a little differently. So I don't know if I have the right stuff for it. I do have a needle that has a really big eye, so hopefully that's helpful. Whether I succeed or whether I fail, I'm still gonna be taking you along with me. So let's figure out if this works or not, okay? So I probably should start with the subject matter of this illustration. Since last week I introduced you to some characters, Sage and Hyacinth, sisters that I can't decide if they're witches or not. I just thought this would be a really cool opportunity to go with a super contrasting black and white design and draw Sage with some of her star tattoos. If you don't know anything about their story, I'll have it linked in the description. Basically, I dove into their story. I'm trying to just give you a summary where it's at, and I need to tweak a few things at the end just so that it is a complete story, whether or not it's finished or not. That could be debatable, but I just want it to be cohesive. Let's start concepting some Sage illustration. Oh yeah, also, my nails are naked. I thought I'd try something a little different. I don't know, whenever I don't have nail polish, I feel like I look a lot younger. But then when I do have colors, I feel like it also looks young, so I don't know, I can't escape it. Whatever. Our canvas is 11 by 14, so we need to keep those sort of dimensions in mind when we're doing our thumbnails, and apparently I'm doing it in pen. I really want to take advantage of black and white, two colors. Contrasting, no gray. This is literally all the black thread I have. I don't really want to use it all because this thing's really handy. And I have a lot of white if we need to do little details or whatnot. And then I also have some embroidery thread, but I'm really worried that my needle won't work with that, so we'll find out. Anyway, the art. One idea would be to have her hero posing. So give her some motion, a little line of action. Put the cat, or unnamed cat. Then we can use the tail as some compositional elements. What if we have the cat whispering in her ear, kind of like her conscience? I feel like that's a story element that could be incorporated. So this is the character Sage. If you want to know more, again, check out that video. I'm not going to be super in-depth. I'm going to just pretend that you've seen that. Basically, she has long black hair, and she has a lot of star tattoos. Again, if you want to know why, check out that video. Essentially, magic's involved. She gets a new star tattoo every single day. She's got quite a few of them. We definitely need to showcase those. I haven't decided whether I want them to be full-blown witches or not, but drawing a witch hat really sparks some joy right now. So maybe we should just let it happen, but then the little unnamed cat gets decapitated. We could give her a buckle. Shrink down kitty. Sorry. I liked that tail, but now the arm is intersecting it and creating an ugly tangent. I remember in original drawings of her years back, she always had a maxi dress on with spaghetti straps and a star pattern. Everything was stars. Now I've kind of toned it down just a smidge. Nice fun slit. Now we have some black intersecting, which clearly isn't gonna work. But there's a lot of white up here, so with this one, you could kind of add a gradient in the background. And then I want a bunch of stars everywhere because that's gonna be the fun texture of the thread or the ribbon. If this ends up being darker up here, you can actually use white thread for little highlights or little white stars. I think I want to play up that idea of the cat whispering in her ear. Let's try a different pose. I like the idea of a hero pose, something kind of big. The main focal point then would be the cat whispering in the ear. So let's start there. I think if the cat's leaning towards the ear, it'll give more that illusion. And then here we can bring the tail up. Because near the beginning of the story, the cat should be fluffy, so we can play up the fluffy tail. Let me find a reference of a cat in a more interesting position. I'm using these references of Sphinx cats because you can kind of see the anatomy a little better. Maybe I can throw a little fluff on there afterward. Kind of a triangle head, ears, eyes, body, rear end, and then those back legs, skinnier tail. Yeah, it looks a little bit more like a cat. Works for the thumbnail for now. The cat's technically supposed to be gray, I think, at this stage in the story. We'll see what we do with that. Also not crazy about the pose Sage is in right now. I think that'd be a good idea to just limit the stars to the thread. Her hair will be black, but it'll be the ink. That way I can have a big mass of tattoos right here. But then this black of the hair, they'll still be contrast in texture. And then I just want extra stars off of the body too. Cat's looking better than that one, but don't like the girl pose now. So I'm gonna go even bigger now because it's fun. fun to change the size up. I preferred that pose, so maybe shrink her down a little. Turn her body. Just do a nice Play-Doh face to begin with. Like, take the cat this way, leaning that way. Tail's coming that way. Ears here. Maybe the nose is here. Why does everything not look like a cat? You had one job. One job! I feel like I want Sage to look a little less innocent in the whole situation, because the whole story is about choices she makes. I kind of preferred when the eyebrows were like lower. More irritated by the situation. Pull the eyebrows down. Oh wow, that does a lot. Still kind of looks like it's whispering. I think I need a little cat anatomy. Draw one from reference. Cats are weird. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm confused. And I'm looking at the real picture right there. It looks like a cat. Tempted to add a little shading to this. I love the way Copic marker makes hen bleed out. Ooh, a little face texture. That seems to go a long way. Where does one even go? It still scribbles because it's like all pen, but I see something in there. Also, she's kind of supposed to be more of a slender person than this. Like kind of just skinnier. Some kind of hat. Not a witch's hat. Fills that area a little bit. And we have our stars. And this will all be black. I don't think we're really any closer to finding our illustration in here. Just gonna move along and do another one. This honestly is my favorite, so let's go back to something more similar to that. More body showing. And over here on the hip. Whoa, girl. Let's put the cat on this side since there's a lot more surface area to stand on. We'll take that tail and come like this way. Maybe curling in would make more sense. The little side slits. I'm just gonna use this marker with all the areas that I want to be black. For now, it's faster to fill it in. And then we have all the tattoos. We could probably even have the cat kind of like walking down the arm a little. Give the cat a nice grumpy face. They're more like little crosses. Sometimes I make them stars. Okay, I like this way better. Still feel like I want to give her a straight up witch's hat. Probably will change the composition of the cat's tail a little. Yeah, essentially I feel like this works. I mean, originally they were supposed to be witches anyway, so... Well, that's kind of cool because then the tail comes out here and then comes in front. It'll be behind the rim of the hat. Move the orientation a little. Center it just a smidge more. Still keep mostly of the white space on the left. So I'm going to grab a coal erase pencil. We'll just draw the same exact shape here. So that's the head. Got the hat. The shoulder. Okay, that's what we needed. I really like the way I stylized the hair as like a weird triangle thing. This way they look more like teammates, which I think fits depending on what part of the story we're dealing with. Let me ink this in because this is pretty much fine. Little stars. Magical blips. This arm is important. Maybe I need like a reference. Maybe try with a little bit more hair. Kind of like this, it looks like a little demon in all the best ways. Maybe if we pull it in here, since the cat's gonna be lighter. Oops. Just exaggerate the angles a little. It's a little smaller. Or maybe, as she gets more and more of the tattoos, the cat gets smaller and smaller. That could be a nice visual representation of what's happening. Do you want the tail to come back around this way? It's kind of cool and magical. Or is it just too weird and magical? I think it needs to be closer in. I think the smaller it is, the more like squirrel-like it ends up looking. I do like the way it's like looking straight at the viewer. We can do the tail, have it come up here a little, back around this way, back here. Maybe curl in front of this part of the hat. Demonstrate its control over her. From what I've done here, I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to need a mid-tone. I wonder if I should find like a gray thread or like just mix the ink with some water. The witch hat kind of works, because if I go with that sort of like backstory where magical people and the non-magical people, and the magical people decided to turn all magical people into animals to stop the evil magical people from being able to do magic, that would suggest that magic was just a part of the world. Maybe the non-magical people still sort of like have that culture, because then she can have the witch hat, and I don't have to give her like magical powers beyond the cat. It doesn't like mess with the story, you know? I really like this layout with the really long tail. Maybe we just draw the cat with a really long tail. I think it definitely pulls away from like that squirrel vibe. Let's go with this guy with like more those elements. I'm getting a little excited. All the videos I've seen where someone took a canvas and added thread, they always drew it on a separate piece of paper and then like poked to the holes so they weren't actually drawing directly on the canvas. I don't know if that's the way we should go, or if I should just try to use a cool erase pencil and draw super lightly and hope for the best, because I will not be able to erase it underneath the thread. But I'm just gonna try and lay it out really soft, big shapes, and just try to make sure it fits. Big shape. It's gotta fit in. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, hips, slit, shoulder, hip. She's a little more centered than originally planned. We will just make the hat bigger since there's space. Slowly kind of refine some of the features. And I think we'll do ink first before we start adding in any thread. Drawing hats, it's usually a good idea to draw the whole head so you know where the hat's gonna be sitting and then where the base of the hat come from. The tail, it comes like If I'm doing the stars in thread, you cannot put thread through the wood. You can only put it through canvas, so that gives me like an inch that I can't put stars. So maybe having the smaller is a good idea. Keep the stars where there is no wood backing. Straighten out this arm a little, give her more space. Let's actually draw the fingers this time, so we've kind of been neglecting it. Put this hand down here. Don't know if you can actually see what I'm talking about. Drawing on canvas is kind of fun. It makes a fun noise. Well, this is the first time I've ever actually like sat down and drew Sage, not just like sort of sketched mindlessly. Oh, that's right, we want the eyebrows lower. So that gives that personality we're looking for. She has a bit of a longer face. I'm seeing her face in here. I want its face a lot closer to hers. I do like the little demon horn ears. The head's a little low. Just bring the body up higher, but keep everything else basically the same. Okay, let's get the tail. I think I like it better when it went over. So this is behind hat, front of hat. We could probably go with this. It needs work, but it's one of the best versions I've drawn today. We'll use straight ink and our dip pen. Also, I'm nervous about my dip pen not gliding on this canvas very well. Oh, it's a little bumpy. So that's a fun texture. Sounds like I'm cutting something. I'm gonna be moving this canvas around a bit. Here we go. That was too scary. Not sure what we're doing with the cat's tail yet, so I'll just skip that area. I love how fine a point we can get. This is really relaxing. Oops, straight line, here we go. Not so straight line, and not so straight. Because we'll have to turn this to the side. this hand. Remember when I said this was relaxing? I'm starting to get stressed. I think we could do the tail. Back this way. We'll leave the rest for when we do the cat. There's some necklaces. I'm gonna do such tiny little stars for her tattoos. We'll see what works, what doesn't. These eyes, they're like the most important part. Guess that ear's just gonna be behind her head. Can't really do anything else. Little knee, paw. Like I need a lot of like stars over here. Fill in that space. Next, we gotta add in our solid black. And what I wanna fill in is the hair and then this bottom skirt. First up is hair. Now this might take a hot second to dry. Ooh, I love the way this looks on canvas. Such a solid color. Probably color in her eyes too. This is much more calming. So it's like, how do you mess this up? It's just a coloring book. I've already made all my decisions when I was doing the thumbnailing, so this can be nice and enjoyable. Yay! Don't we love enjoyable art? Finish our edges. Alright, so I know I said I wouldn't do this, but I've decided to add a mid-tone because there's just a lot of white space. So I'm going to take our ink and put a couple drops here. 1, 2, 3. And then add some water. That's 1 spray. And that's 2 sprays. Mix that up. Let's see what that looks like. Make sure it's not too dark. Which it is. So we're just going to add a whole bunch more water. Like fill this little cup. How are we doing now? It's already way lighter. Can you see the difference? Probably good. I'm going for a shape kind of like this. So it's like, from here we'll go up. So then this side will all be the light gray. Start on the left, fill it in. Probably should have mixed it with white instead of water, since we're supposed to be painting. But we'll see what it looks like when it dries. Oh, it's looking much better as it dries. Okay, I think we're good. There's a little hole here. Kind of looking like smoke. I mean, I think that was the intention. Honestly, it was just an element to like fill up the white space. And I kind of want to use the white thread. So having more tones allows me to have more opportunity to do that. You know what? The cat is supposed to be gray. And it lines up with this that I want to be gray. What did I do? You know what? Let's start by just adding like the texture to the cat. And then maybe I won't have any dark colors up at the top and I can end up coloring this in. I do want to fill that in, I think. We're gonna do that too. And maybe color this in too. Alright, so it wasn't super contrasty, just black and white. It's pretty close to still being that way. Just a little extra something. Now we'll come back when everything's dry. Try to do our little thread thing I've been waiting for the whole time. Hey, if you feel like you've been waiting for it the whole time, imagine me. I've been sitting here for a couple hours. Alright, so it's dry. I think that means it's time to do the thread. But first, I want to erase as much of this pink stuff as possible. Something goes wet. I just want to do something right for once. I'll just go over that with like some white paint at the end. Thread time. I don't think I'm going to use this. I want to use my black thread. I'm going to start with this piece that I already have left over. I'm going to double up the thread. So I'm going to pull it all the way to the end like that and then tie a knot. That way it'll be thicker when it's visible. Well, I guess we gotta do the ones on her face. This is gonna be a lot more difficult than I thought. So I guess we'll try. Just go on in. Hopefully, if I keep the holes far enough away, it won't like go straight through. Okay, I think these are too small. See, that looks like a little star? Not really. Let's do another one. Maybe if there's enough of them. Let's try a little bigger this time. That one's better. I love the texture. I don't know if it's gonna work on camera, but it's feeling and looking kind of cool. Let's add another one. Keeping it a little bit bigger seems to show up a little bit better. Now, this color is like almost exactly the same as the black we used for the hair. There's not quite as much contrast as I was hoping for. So I'm a little nervous. Problem is there's gonna be areas where you need to put like a ton of tattoos. But I'll just keep going. Let's try to do a X instead of a cross. What's the difference? The direction. I'm worried if I put like the holes too close together, it'll just rip a big hole and then all the thread will just fall out. I'm running out of thread. But it was an experiment, so I think we can definitely go ahead and grab a ton more. And I don't think I need the embroidery floss. Where I need more, it might be a smart idea to switch over. Why don't we try that next? Tie this into a little knot. So we just have to like fill in all the skin. That rhymed. Something much longer, especially since we're gonna cut it in half. Oh, I guess we kind of have to put a needle on this. There we go, we got it. It made itself a knot. Let's do a little shorter next time. I'm gonna start here, I'm gonna move up and around and then down and around. Let me try and do an actual star. See if the canvas can handle it. I'm gonna just do it like I would draw a star. I'm really worried about poking too big a hole, but that looks like a star, doesn't it? I'm gonna add some small ones around it to really push the idea. Another fun idea to do with like embroidery would be to like draw a little character and then the clothes were made out of embroidery thread. Just move our way up the arm. Remember to pull it all the way through. This was a good idea though to do this character, I think. Do all these little X's. And I like that they all look different. Oh, the texture. This is why we do it, folks. Quite a few of these. This will take a little bit of time. It definitely has a different texture. The ink is a little bit shiny, and then the thread is very matte, so it's pretty obvious. IRL. I did a couple more stars. They should be kind of random, but we'll see. I don't want it to look too patterned. Some might be too close, some are more sparse. Getting close to that nosy. Should I do the nose? Let's go ahead and do the nose. Basically, you just kind of embroider it over and over again. This would be a really interesting way to do line art too, with thread. The ideas, they're unlimited. Just add a couple extra little stars. You'll probably grab a new thread for the other arm. It's probably enough there. Yeah, them down here. Throw some up in here. We can cover up this. The hardest part is like blindly coming up from the bottom and hoping you get it in the right spot. But just doing this, even though this is really kind of simple, I feel like there's so many cool ways you could approach this technique. And it's kind of got me a little excited and inspired, especially if you like used fun colors. We're running a little low on the thread here. Hopefully we can do a couple more. Just like feeling it. This might be the last one I can do with this thread. We want to still do that leg and stuff. Yeah, we've run out. I'm just gonna tie a little knot. Can't say it's quite as like visually interesting as I kind of had in my head. Let me do white next and add some little white stars. Not quite as long as last time. This thread I think is a little thinner than the black thread I was using. Definitely have to double that up. Let's try to add a few stars. Let's start over here. I think I want to do the full-on stars like I did there. And hopefully it works. I'm going to start real big. Yeah, this thread's a little bit more transparent. I wonder if I use this thread. I'm going to just finish up using this thread though. Simple stars. Our little X's. This is kind of fun because I feel like I can actually see the texture of the thread because it is thinner. Boom. throw a couple over here. It's a little bit lighter of a gray in this little area, so we'll see if it's visible. Yeah, kind of translucent. Can't say I'm happy about that. I'm gonna do one more star like that. And then we'll tie this one off and try the other thread. It's a little star. Let's grab a piece of this, cut it to size. Yeah, so let's try my wider-eyed needle. And let's see if it works with the canvas or not. This needle's so much thicker. It does feel like it takes a lot more pressure. So it's making a lot bigger holes in the canvas. Still can't say it's like super visible. It's more visible though, if we're looking at the bright side. This video just turned into me sewing. So what I need is like a gray thread to add gray stars. Well, I think this is where I wanted to put the star. Guess we'll go ahead and do that. I use the same holes. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Boom! I kind of want to use this thread to add a little highlight to her eyes. I'm going to try to do that knot thing. So like pull it out here. Ooh, that's creepy. And then you're supposed to like create a knot. That didn't work. But now there's a hole. Just make it like nothing ever happened. I'll add a couple of these for some variety. And where like I can't put them because there's wood there. So yeah, the white gel pen kind of works better than the thread did, but you know, we're trying new things here. So I gotta switch to the black thread. Don't need quite as much as last time though. Double it up. Just go ahead and add in her thigh stars. Sounds like a Spanx brand. Kind of like it with just two. Anyway, that's as far up as I can go. Well, maybe one more. I kind of feel like I need more up there and there. Add some stars up here. I can do these ones a lot bigger, I feel like. Ooh, I like that. Let's do another big one right here. I like those ones. Looks even better when you add a little cross next to it. So it looks like it's really big because you got a little tiny guy right here. It's called contrast. Cutting it real close. I'd say the experiment was a success. Did it live up to the expectations? No. But did it inspire new ideas? Yes. So I think what I would like to do is maybe pick up some tips and like practice a little bit and then try and incorporate it with the art and then maybe have a much more heavily relied upon embroider style incorporated into it and use it on a canvas. I think that would be really, really cool. Feel free to use that idea. I'm sure I'm not the first one to come up with it. So you don't need to ask me. I love seeing things that you create. If something in one of my videos inspires you in some way, run with it, okay? I want to thank you guys for watching. You can take a look back at my thumbnail sketches. I'm really glad I decided to use the purple marker. I think it really added a oomph, a something something. Color in behind her just to make it look more like a silhouette. And maybe for next week, I'll try and finish up the summary of the story and let you guys know how that one ends for Sage and her sister. And if you didn't see the video where I began their story, I'll have it linked. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week. And I hope you have the most delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!